What keeps you turning pages long after the first kiss? It's rarely a car chase or an exploding building. In romance, the thing that makes us keep reading is a promise, an emotional wager that something important will be won or lost. Today, we're talking about those promises, the stakes that make a romance matter. First, let's be clear about what we mean by stakes in romance. These aren't action-adventure stakes where the fate of the world is on the line. Romance stakes are personal and emotional. They're about what a character stands to lose of their heart, identity, reputation, or sense of self. When those promises feel real, every look, every confession, every hesitation hums with consequence. One of the most familiar stakes is fear of loss. Think of novels and TV romances where illness, separation, or timing threaten the relationship's future. That threat turns ordinary moments into urgent ones: a hand on a shoulder, a last-minute confession, the choice to stay. The fear of losing someone gives even small interactions weight, because you believe the loss could be real. Another stake that resonates deeply is self-transformation. In so many romances, the promise is psychological. Will this relationship help a character become braver, kinder, truer to themselves? Consider contemporary favorites where growth is central. The arc isn't just falling in love, it's learning how to accept love, how to set boundaries, or how to forgive. That promise of becoming someone who can love and be loved raises the emotional payoff when two people finally meet that potential together. Reputation is a classic engine for romantic tension. From Austen's drawing rooms to Regency dramas that dominate streaming and #book talk alike, what other people think still matters. Reputation stakes can include social standing, family expectations, or professional risk. When a character risks their reputation for love, the story asks, is love worth the possible personal cost? That question feels particularly potent when social judgment is a real obstacle. Then there's the courage to be seen, the risk of vulnerability. So often a central promise in romance is that one or both characters must show their true selves. Will they share the parts they hide? Will they say the unsayable? The act of revealing a scar, an insecurity, or a secret becomes a high-stakes moment because it leaves a character exposed, and exposure can either break them or bring them closer. Pop culture examples make these stakes easy to recognize. Classics like Pride and Prejudice hinge on reputation and misread intentions. Modern hits often foreground transformation and vulnerability. Shows like Bridgerton lean into social risk and secrecy, while intimate novels that trend on #book talk highlight emotional growth, forgiveness, or the peril of keeping dangerous secrets. These are different kinds of promises, but all do the same thing. They ask readers to care about the outcome. What's important is how stakes create tension without derailing intimacy. A good romance lets you linger in private moments, even as the promise hangs heavy. You still want the slow look, the hesitant touch, the almost confession, because the stakes make those moments meaningful. Too much external melodrama can drown intimacy. Too little consequence can make scenes feel flat. The sweet spot is when stakes are personal and character-driven, bolstering the emotional connection rather than replacing it. This is one reason interactive stories are such a fun playground for romance readers. In an interactive format, you can test a promise with a single choice. Will you tell the truth now, or keep the secret? Does the character take the job across the country, or stay for the relationship? That single decision can raise the stakes, intensifying fear of loss or reputation risk, or lower them, making room for steadier intimacy and slow-burn longing. It's a reader's way of experimenting with emotional consequences and seeing how a relationship might change when one promise is honored or one risk is avoided. As a reader, noticing the promise at the center of a romance helps you understand why certain moments hit harder. Is the novel asking a question about trust, about identity, about whether love is worth the sacrifice? Once you can name the promise, you can see how it colors every scene, how small choices matter, and why the ending feels earned or untrue to the heart of the story. If you love exploring these emotional wagers, try experiencing them through an interactive story. Endless Romance lets readers pick a path and watch how a single choice changes the promise at the story's center. Not to teach you how to write, but to let you feel the stakes shift in real time. It's a neat way to test how a confession, a decision, or a bold reveal alters intimacy. If this episode made you think about the promises that keep you invested, head to the show notes for recommended reads that spotlight each type of stake, and try an interactive romance where one choice can change everything. Subscribe, Leave a rating if you enjoyed this, and come back next episode when we explore another corner of what makes romance irresistible.